everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Airbnb IPO again. Yes, again, because I made a video about Airbnb IPO 3 months ago, but things didn't work out as they were supposed to, but now they're back. So Airbnb's IPO is looking to IPO any day now. I think maybe they'll pull it off during this time since things have kind of, came, I don't want to say back to normal, but have gotten a little bit better for them. So they're one of the companies that are looking to IPO next. But real quick, feel free to like and subscribe, stick around. On this channel, we love to talk about money, we love to talk about finance, we love to talk about investing. We love to show people how they can succeed, whether they have money or if they don't have a lot of money. So Airbnb's IPO. So here's the thing with Airbnb. Airbnb took a huge hit when the pandemic happened. They actually dropped 39% as far as their revenue, but that's just to be expected with anything having to do where people would travel, as well as even if they were in close proximity with others. So you saw that in hotels and rentals and things like that. You saw that in airplanes and transportation. You've seen everything take a nosedive, and most of that stuff is still at that nosedive level because we still haven't gotten back to normal just yet. And quite honestly, I don't think we'll ever get back to normal. So let me not say get back to normal, but we still haven't seen things change to where, we're able to kind of get back out there and travel and do the things that we, normally do. So Airbnb, it is a 50-50 chance. If this pandemic never ever goes away, then, Airbnb is not going to do good. But if this pandemic does go away, then Airbnb is going to be just fine. Now, here's the thing about Airbnb. Airbnb is the type of model similar to like Uber, Grubhub, DoorDash, Instacart, things like that, basically where they don't own any hotels, they don't own any homes, but you do. So they allow you to use what you have and make money from it, and you open it up to others. Now, some people do Airbnbs in their home where they'll rent out a room. I'm not really a fan of that. I don't know if I want somebody to come in to stay for the weekend within my house, but some people do it. Haven't really heard of any horror stories, so I guess that's working out. But you could rent out almost anything. So let's say, for example, if you have rental property and it's hard to rent out. Now, of course, this is pre-pandemic or even post-pandemic, but let's say you have a house that you're trying to rent, or an apartment building, or whatever it is that you're trying to rent. And the rent each month is like $600 a month, for example. I know that's cheap, but I'm just using an example. So let's say it's $600 a month, but you're having a hard time renting it out. Well, you can go to Airbnb and you can end up renting that out. And then you could charge people like $200 or $300 a day, or $100 a day, or $50 a day, and you'll be able to make more than your rent, or the money that you was looking for when it concerns your rent, than you would, if you just actually rent it out. So Airbnb could actually cause you to make some money. Now, if you have an Airbnb, then you understand that it is a business. This is not something where people just come in and stay and then you don't do anything. No, if you have a lot of people coming in and it's booked, especially if you live in a tourist spot. Like I have some friends who live in tourist areas and their Airbnbs are always booked. Well, that also means that you're going to need to do work all the time or hire somebody to do work all the time. Well, Airbnb, and I love models like this because it now brings an average person, an individual, just like I said about DoorDash and Uber and all these other things, now brings a normal person to be able to create money, create income, and create a business. Very simple. Now, Airbnb, most of its revenue is actually not in the US, it's overseas. So more than half of its revenue doesn't just come from the US, it comes from overseas, comes from everywhere. So you could actually rent out things like castles and tree houses and igloos. That's crazy to me, but that's super dope that someone actually will allow you to Airbnb a whole castle. I might need to put it on my bucket list, Airbnb a castle. But if things are going to do well after the pandemic, then I think Airbnb is going to do fine. Now, their price target as of today that I read was about $50, give or take, $40. I think that's an okay price. I guess I would like to see it a little bit less, like maybe $30 or so, but That's the price target that they have. Now, of course, once they come out, they definitely be double that price very easy, as we've seen with several companies, for example, like Snow. But with some of the recent IPOs that are coming out, Airbnb is probably my most favorite one. Now, will I be investing in it or not? I'm not sure yet, what I'm gonna do with that, because more than likely, I might just wait a little bit, especially if that price is higher than $50. I don't think it needs to be more than $50, that's in my opinion, especially starting out. But I understand, how these IPOs work, because one of the things I understand is I'm not rushing it. I'm not rushing to invest, but that is my most favorite one out of all the IPOs that are coming out, supposed to be before this year ends. So knowing me, it could be one of those days where I just pull the trigger and just say, you know what, let me buy some shares. Airbnb is definitely going public. So what do you guys think? Are you investing in Airbnb? Do you have any concerns about Airbnb? Do you think it will ever bounce all the way back and continue to keep going? I think it will bounce back. A lot of times people talk about the money they lose and like, oh, they're spending so much money in advertising and doing special bonuses and different things like that. Well, that's what businesses do. Because the thing with Airbnb is it becomes a rival for companies like Expedia, right? Or Orbitz and all these different hotel and travel companies where you go on there, you're looking for a hotel and stuff like that. Well, now you have it where people go on Airbnb and look for a place to stay too. So if you're like me and when we like to travel with our family. So alone we have 3 kids, 1 on the way, so basically 4 kids. And then sometimes like our families like to come too. Hotels don't work for us, and I don't really like to stay in hotels anymore. So I look for either resorts or some type of resort-ish type of feel, whether it can be like a townhome or a house or something like that. And I like that because we're able to also buy groceries and cook, and that's a lot cheaper when you have a lot of mouths, how much we would pay for breakfast, lunch, and dinner compared to going to the grocery store and buying some food and coming back and cooking it and and being able to have a good time. So typically I don't look for hotels. I typically look for places like that when we travel as a family, so that way we can really enjoy the space and wherever we're at. So if you think like I do and you think like that, then it actually puts Airbnb in a space to where they could definitely threaten a lot of the hotel chains and definitely threaten a lot of those travel sites and things like that. Not in the near future, but later down the line, because there's still a whole lot of things that'll be worked out. But it's one of those companies that is in the space that is definitely a competitor. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about Airbnb. Are you investing? Are you waiting? What are your thoughts? You don't like it? Whatever the case is. All right, guys. So I'll see you on the next video. Y'all have a good one. Peace.